Islam versus Volk 2 is going down right now.
He comes to behind the head. That's it.
Islam shredded still, obviously in fantastic shape for this fight. Now Volk looks soft. Volk looks definitely like he took this on short notice. He looked quite different in the last one that we saw. Let's see if he's adjusted. Let's see if he's made any corrections. Let's see if Islam is adjusted, because last time it was a real moral victory for Volk, man. Like being able to last the entire fight and not get completely dominated by the grappling, like escape from these situations. Craig Jones has been saying that Sambo's fake and that Islam can't submit anybody. I think it's kind of talk, like obviously Craig likes to kind of take the piss, right? But I think that that Islam will probably win a decision here. Jacked, man. Look at the size of this guy. You can definitely tell in this fight that it's a completely different weight class. He's really getting his back against the wall here. Like, you lose to the guy in the first fight. He's a bigger guy. He's really, really good. And then you take a rematch with a guy that you lost to who's bigger on short notice, on 10 days notice, when you haven't even really been training. Maybe he has been training, but you know it's not fight camp. You can't peak forever. It's not easy to just peak. You maybe takes 4 to 8 weeks of prep to peak perfect. Right? You can't do that in 10 days. It's just like, I hope you were training. I hope you're not just getting up off the couch. I heard that he cut 26 pounds for this fight in 12 days. All right. Can he overturn this dominant champion? How long will this guy dominate for? Nobody's been able to dominate at lightweight. Name one fighter that's been able to dominate with even 5 consecutive title defenses at lightweight. Hardest division in the world, by far. Islam pressing forward, right away going to work with that left kick. We talked about this back arm of Volkanovski. See that back arm? You can see that right there. Look at this big gap. And when that arm is in that diagonal shape like that, or even worse, a horizontal shape, right? Like straight out would be even worse. Okay, that diagonal shape, it allows things under it. That body kick, look at how much space you have for that body kick. And then there's room over it too, right? You could get up to the ear and above, okay, with that head kick. So that adjustment wasn't made. That would be something I would be drilling right away, because he ate a bunch of body kicks in the last fight too. Doing good, keeping that outside foot line. Okay, Volkanovski constantly circling this way. Well, at least in the last couple seconds here, circling this way. Islam is pressing forward, but there's a real battle going on here for this foot line. Okay, neither one has been super dominant on it yet. Right away, you can see in this, even in this picture here, look at Volk, where Volk's head is. I believe that he would do much better if he carried his head over here, away from that left hand, away from that left kick. He's right in the way of all the power right now. He's getting close to beating the foot line. They're kind of 50-50 here, but because of where he's angling his head, it's right in the way of all the worst stuff. I don't know if Islam has a better fight IQ than Volk. He might. Ooh, but Islam only fights one stance, so does he understand closed stance? He definitely understands open stance well. That seemed like it was a little far away, right? Like it seemed like that was a little off, right? This is not shooting distance. You can see when they're parrying, they're not in a distance where they could actually reach each other with the punches. And in my opinion, if you can't touch the person on the face with your punches, then you're too far away to shoot. And you can see when he does shoot, he's really reaching across the gap here. Like his feet are not under his head. If your feet are not under your head, you can get sprawled out. He doesn't end up sprawled out here, I don't think. Yeah, but Volk does have the time to get that underhook in from that down block. Right, get that down block, and then you've got that underhook. Okay, if you don't understand the down block, just make sure you get our wrestler course. Okay, we're gonna cover it. How to beat a wrestler. Okay, head position. This head position is super key. How to beat a wrestler. Making sure that you're not allowing the person under you. If they get under you, if they can get under this head here, okay, he's gonna be into the hip super easy. But Volk is doing a great job of keeping that head in the pocket, making it difficult for Islam to connect. Islam just walking him to the fence. Okay, now Islam doesn't have the greatest shoulder position here. He's super strong, so he's able to do it anyway. But see how Islam's shoulder is kind of peaking up higher than Volk's shoulder? Okay, really easier to dominate with your underhook if your shoulder is a little lower than your opponent, right? You just want to make sure that you're able to get under so you can lift them up. Otherwise, you're like trying to bicep curl their whole weight. It makes it very difficult. And then Volk pummels that double underhooks. We saw this in the last fight. and turns him right around. Okay, now sometimes Islam will like be fine. Like he doesn't care about just fighting with overhooks. He likes overhook for a lot of his throws. But I still don't think it's a good idea to just give up double underhooks. Like I think you should fight for it and make the guy like really work for it. Then it's easier to throw him once he establishes. Volk has great position. Really good position, right? Head in the pocket, hips are close. Okay, he's keeping himself very straight, spine very straight. Very difficult to get thrown if you have that strong position. Yeah, this is one of the beautiful things about MMA is like every body style has its advantages, right? When you're trying to get your head into the pocket on a fighter, if you're shorter, okay, it's just way easier for you to do it, right? It's way easier for Volk to get his head under that jawline because Islam's already above, right? He's already a little bit taller, so it's easier to get under. Couple little knees getting thrown here. Good work with Volk doing that like Khabib kind of like weird hook thing that he does with that deep underhook in the head position. Khabib would do like wreck guys on the cage in that exact fashion. So I'm sure Islam has experienced this before, right? Khabib did it to him for how long? Probably still does it to him. Islam's hitting some really good knees here though. Right, like he doesn't have good head position. Got a whizzer. Volk's got head position, but he still has enough separation. He's able to knee the body and chip away. I feel he's trying to get Volk to break his posture in some way, and then he's gonna try to hit him with a Uchimata or maybe like Harai Goshi. Good frame by Volk. He's got to watch exposing his back though. Ooh, Islam lets go and takes a tie clinch. Nice, good head control. Volk just backs up to the fence. I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe like try to twist out, look to foot sweep. Ooh, that's what you don't do. Now, those of you that watched our breakdown last time, we saw that Volkanovski likes to duck his head down to exit clinches, and I said, you're not gonna do that twice, right? Well, they watched the tape back, and they were expecting that. I guarantee you they were expecting that. Watch what happens here. Right there, look, he's ducking his head down with his back on the fence. Head is coming down in the tie clinch. You don't even have anywhere to leave to. So the guy doesn't even have to cover any distance when trying to smear your nose across your face. Boom, and he gets it. Boom, right there, bang. It looks like it might have just missed, but you can't have that as part of your system, right? Do not duck your head out of the clinch like that. You will die. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this, keeping the tie clinch when your back is on the fence. You can do it for a sec to try to get an angle and get out, but as soon as this space gets closed off here, yeah, it's gonna be really, really difficult to keep him at bay with just the bottoms of your elbows like that. That's all that separates Volkanovski from connecting into like a deep underhook. And look, Volk pressures in, gets to the single. And right away back to that underhook, grabbing the far hip and smash, smash, smash with that Khabib type left. That was smart. Withdraws on the exit, but you missed an opportunity right there. If he had thrown that cross and put it exactly where his left hand is right now, because Islam's like that cross could come straight in. And usually when people are grappling and in entanglements and the disconnection is happening, they usually still have that grappling mindset, right? So it's a great time to hit with what I call an exit shot, right? You're leaving an exchange. In that transition, try to land something because they're usually not ready. Ooh, nice body kick. Yeah, that left leg starting to come in now. Feinting the takedown. It's really hard when the guy can strike and grapple, man. That looked like a nice little left hand there by Makhachev too. Feint, feint. Yeah, he slips his head to the outside. Oh, damn. Wow. Okay, so I thought I went backwards. I want to look at the left hand again, but maybe I hit the wrong button. We went forward a little bit. Oh, feinting the takedown. Maybe it was that takedown feint that set it up. Okay, so he hit body kick earlier, right? He'd been kicking the leg, kicking the body. I think he went up high earlier too. Feint the takedown, right? So your back's on the fence, guy fakes a takedown. You gotta be hyper aware of that, right? Maybe you're like, oh, I'm gonna try to plant a knee, something, right? But you're not thinking about the kick when the guy's faking takedowns at you. Boom! Left kick comes upstairs. See how Volk kind of dipped down a little bit? He dipped down a little bit. When you dip and you bend at the waist here, you can see how his body is bent at the waist. That brings your head directly in the path of all the nasty stuff, right? You're in the pit of death. You're going towards the left hand, the left kick, everything. Now, if this was to the body, his body's open too. right? But it looks like his hand is up. His hand is up, but yeah, it goes right over top of the guard. Nasty, boy. Sick ground and pound on the finish. Bang, yeah, right like that. Okay, this is like the Crow Cop kick. I don't know if you guys remember Crow Cop, but he was a savage out over in Pride and then came to the UFC and did not quite as good, but he's still amazing, right? Okay, this guy would head kick everybody. He would left head kick everyone and knock them right out. And it was almost always like that. It was like the shot glancing upwards just to the top of the skull would just cold people, man. I don't know, you think like the jawline's the one that's really you want to hit, but man, with that head kick, that baseball bat, it doesn't really matter what you hit, right? Hit the head, they're goners. Nasty, good shots, man. Following up with the hammer fist, changing to this shot, right? Keeping his head over, keeping him under control with enough space to strike. So many times you see people go to finish and they get too close to the person. You still have to keep enough space that you can do damage while keeping them under control. So that means you got to use your legs to control them, and then you have your hands free to do damage, something that Khabib talked immensely about, but still a lot of fighters do not do. That was sick. That was sick. Now people are gonna know this guy is super legit. Like, everybody was scared of Makhachev before because his grappling is really nasty. Everybody knows that. Nobody really was talking about his striking. I always said he's got way better striking than Khabib. He also has a better guard than Khabib, right? He's a more complete fighter than Khabib. I think Khabib might have a mental edge, maybe, just from seeing how they were in person. Just the air that Khabib walks around with seems a little different. It seems like to me, it seems like Islam is kind of the little brother and Khabib is the big brother, and really has that kind of big brother mindset. Although Islam is way more technical. But if you could put Khabib's brain into Islam's body, you can beat anybody. Bing, yes, right off the top. That might have actually been right to the temple. Let's look at this again. Boom. Yeah, so maybe just above the temple, but like just that scalp head kick, right? Just scalping dudes. You don't, like, if it's Taekwondo, you need to connect with the foot. You need to connect with the foot directly to the jaw. If you connect to the skull with your foot, the kicker probably loses. The guy that gets kicked, it'll hurt, but the kicker, you might break your actual foot, okay? But this Thai kick, right? This Thai roundhouse, it doesn't matter what it hits. Bing, off the top of the head, guy's out. And Islam might have a little bruise on his shin, but that's it, man. He's chilling. Wobble, goes down, and right away, swarming. Nice hammer fist. Beautiful. Some of those might have been a little questionable, but when you're finishing, they'll always kind of give you the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, wobble, goes down, bang, bang. This is how you finish. Yeah, 2 of those were illegal, but he's not trying to do that. Volk's moving his head, right? And so he didn't change the angle once the Volk was moving his head, but it doesn't really matter. The referees will give you the benefit of the doubt on those. Yeah, that was kind of cool. See how he's keeping him in place with his knee? Look at that knee. Okay, that knee is pinning him to the fence, right? If that knee wasn't there, Volk would be able to come up and get his head much closer to Islam, get a deep underhook with the left arm and bury his head in the belly. And then it's going to be kind of hard, right, to finish that ground and pound while keeping dominant position. But this knee right in the jawline, I doubt this is something he practiced. It's just something that he innately senses in the moment. This knee is really stabilizing this position. And just like I said, using your legs to control the person allows you to open up with your hands. Okay, it may be a little easier for the guy to move around. You're not going to be able to keep a position forever. But if you're willing to be mobile in your attack and throw savage shots, okay, they're not going to be around very long. Okay, so they might move, but they're not going to be around long. Yeah, he was really keeping him there with that left knee. You can see right here, like, he's like driving it under his head, like stapling it to the wall while he's smashing. Fantastic job by Islam Makhachev. He's really developing into a phenom, beast of a man. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come back. I don't think he should come back for the title. Once a guy's beaten you twice, even if it's short notice on the second one, it's gonna be hard to sell that third matchup. He would have to go and run through everybody at 45, that's what he should really be focused on. Like, go back to 45 and just establish dominance, right? Maybe like win like 5-6 fights in a row at feather, right? And then if Islam is still the champion, maybe say something, and then you guys can have the third one. But it's not usual that we'll see a rematch if one guy's already won the first two back-to-back. It doesn't really make sense to have a third fight. Because then if they have the third one and Volk wins, then what are they going to do? A fourth one and then a fifth one? Like, doesn't make sense. Now, as for saying told you, right? You remember in the breakdown that I did about their first fight, we were talking about that hand position, right? And I said that if he didn't fix that issue and have a strong structure in the back arm, okay, that Islam could put him out in the first round. Body kick, body, head, right? Just making him choose in between those. You might block one or two, but eventually one's going to get through. And the way he was going way up top to the skull, it's really, really hard to block that shot if you're also worried about adjusting, bringing your arm down, not bringing your leg up. Okay, your leg will take up so much of that room, right, that you're able to have your hand higher. But if you're just going to do that, they're probably going to be a little lower to block the body and the high kick. And then all this, that's a kill shot, man. That's a kill shot. Anything that you can hit with that rear leg roundhouse kick shin, the end of the shin, with a whip, anything on the head that you hit, it's over, man. It's over. If the guy knows how to kick, it's over. Especially if they know how to finish like that. Savage. Incredible work by Islam Makhachev. I'm telling you, these wrestlers are really, really dangerous, and it's really not that simple to beat them. So if you have martial arts goals, you need to understand how to beat these guys. If you haven't already opted in, we're getting more people opting into this course all the time. So if you haven't already opted in, you better get it now, okay? Because we got that pre-sale right now. It's a fraction of the cost. Okay, link is in the bio. Go down, click it, check it out. Okay, and then you'll have access to the wealth of knowledge necessary to beat guys like this. I know I lost to Islam, but I learned a crazy amount. And then I fought Rustam and I whooped Rustam. I don't care what the record shows. We all know who won that fight. Okay, so I know how to beat these wrestlers. Okay, it is not a simple problem. Okay, but there's a couple really, really important things that you're gonna need to know if you're gonna wanna be successful. And they're in the anti-wrestler course. Okay, so check it out, click it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. I enjoyed watching this. This was a sick fight, man. Thank you. Comment, subscribe, like. Peace out.